It was a close game, but the Warriors pulled it out in Brooklyn. Final score of 121 to 119. Let's discuss how the game went. Let's discuss kind of the trajectory of these two teams. They're obviously moving in very different directions, but something important that we need to discuss specifically about the Warriors. So the game itself, it was kind of interesting. The Nets came out smoking hot, 35 points in the first quarter, and then holding the Golden State Warriors to 15. Now that's not enough to beat a team like the Warriors when you have Steph Curry who can make long distance, long range threes, bombs away in high volumes and do it really, really quickly. So of course it's the NBA, and generally speaking, no lead is safe, especially a team like the Warriors, and then throw in the fact that the Nets aren't a very good team as a collective of talent and players and achievements so far this year. So the Warriors stormed back. They ended up outscoring the Nets by 15 in the second quarter, dropping 40 on them. All right, so if you're thinking about kind of like how that's going, they were right back in the thick of things. I think the Nets were still in the lead at halftime. But, the lead is not safe. The second half was a little bit closer. The Warriors ended up kind of, closing the gap completely going into the fourth quarter. I think it was like a one-possession game. And then things got pretty close at the end. And the Warriors just out-executed the Nets, and the Nets kind of ran out of steam. All right, so from the box score, the Nets actually shot 50% from the field, and the Warriors shot 49%. 3-point, the Nets shot 45%, the Warriors shot 37%. So shooting-wise, the edge only really, for the free throws for the Warriors, they went to the line 32 times, made 29 of them, right? So almost a 91% clip. Not that the Nets didn't shoot well from the free throw line. They shot 89%. The rebounding edge was huge for the Warriors, especially the second opportunities. The Warriors out-rebounded the Nets plus 13. And then offensive glass, they had 7 more offensive rebounds. And then with respect to turnovers, the Nets did a nice job. They only had 11. The Warriors had 16 turnovers. And then points in the paint were very, very similar. So this game was close. All right, now individually, the efforts, the Nets, Cam Johnson 26, Cam Thomas 23. D'Angelo Russell was only able to give you 7. He didn't play that great. I think he shot 3 of 7 from the field. And actually, towards the end of the game, they were sending doubles to get the ball out of his hands so that somebody else would have to take some shots. I think that was a smart play by the Warriors. But you didn't really get too much else there. Tyrese Martin, 17 points. That's nice off the bench. And I think Zaire Williams, who I've seen quite a bit now over the course of the year, at times can be a bright spot for the Nets. 10 points in 25 minutes of action. But that's mostly it. From the Warriors, and this is the discussion point here, Steph Curry, 40 points. Right? And we're coming off of games where he was dropping 50 plus. So there is still a lot of gas left in the tank. This guy can still have some big, massive games. All right, he was 12 of 20 from the field, 7 of 13 from 3, 9 of 9 from the free throw line. He also threw in 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Also some turnovers. You notice that the best players from all these teams, very turnover prone, and I'm pretty critical of that. So, maybe this game is has more separation. Maybe the Warriors win by double digits if Steph takes care of the ball a little bit more. This is what I mean when I talk about turnovers, and I say the same thing about the Lakers with LeBron and Luka. Jimmy Butler had a really good game, 25 points, 7 of 13 shooting. He made his lone 3, got to the free throw line 10 times, made all 10 free throws. Those were crucial on this evening, right? Him and Steph combined 19 of 19 from the free throw line. 2 rebounds, 6 assists, so he was dishing. 3 steals, so he made his presence felt defensively. Draymond, 7 points, 2 of 5 shooting, 7 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds. He had 10 assists. And then Moses Moody rounded out the scoring, 10 points for the starters, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. Brandon Podziemski, he played 1 minute. I'm guessing there may have been an injury of some sort. Not sure what happened there, but we'll report back if that's something important. Quentin Post, 10 points off the bench. Gary Payton, second, 16 points off of the bench. All right, so the main discussion point here for this video and what we kind of are learning here about the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are actually a pretty dangerous team. right? The Warriors themselves moved to 35-28. Their trajectory is looking pretty good, right? With respect to kind of like how they've been doing since Jimmy got there, pretty damn good. I think they've won 8 or 9 games since he's been there, or maybe 10 games. They've won 8 of their last 10. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're currently positioned 6th in the West, and they are poised to make a couple more moves up the standings. They can definitely pass the Rockets if the Rockets continue to stay mediocre. Like right now, the Rockets are 5-5 in their last 10. The Grizzlies are 3-7 in their last 10. So there's a version of this where the Warriors move, getting past the Rockets, getting past the Grizzlies, if those teams have any type of continued struggles, or if they just kind of hang around this, mediocrity, right? And then I don't know if they can catch the Nuggets. That might be a little bit more of a daunting task, but ideally, I think the Warriors want to have that first round, kind of home court advantage. And then, you never know. The Nuggets could squander, I guess. I think that's very unlikely. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They have the league MVP, that sort of thing. So I doubt it. The Lakers have been cooking. They're going to be hard to catch unless they somehow decide they want to start losing, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. And the Thunder are just way too far ahead, right? They're 51-11. You know what I mean? So I think for the sake of the Warriors, it's just looking to move up, try to get to the 4th position, host that first round playoff, look to avoid any difficult matchups, right? If you're, ranked 6th or 7th in the West, you're likely playing the Nuggets, Lakers, Thunder. If you slide down, you end up in the play-in. The play-in has not been good to the Warriors, right? You probably don't want to see that, but they look poised to make a run through the rest of the year. And then for the Nets, it's just been a really bad season. They're currently positioned as one of the worst teams in the NBA. I believe they are 11th in the East. The Sixers are right there. The Raptors are right there. They're not as bad as the Wizards or the Hornets, but they're not really contending for a playoff spot. Some of the teams that are a little bit on the bubble, kind of, on the outside looking in with respect to the play-in. You're talking about the Hawks. You're talking about the Magic. Those teams are about to hit their 30th win, right? You're not even close. You're at 21 wins. It's been a long season, been tough for them. Not great. But the Warriors definitely on the up and up, and I think the most important thing is noting here that the Jimmy Butler trade has thus far been a success. He makes the Warriors dangerous. They're going to be a tough out in the playoffs, in my opinion, and with every passing game, they just get more and more integrated with one another. And with respect to Steph, Jimmy Butler has been the best thing that could have happened to his career. We know that Steph isn't what he used to be, but he can still have huge games like you saw tonight and the one you saw in Orlando, where he hit like 12 threes and scored 50-some points. He can do that from time to time. He still has the ability to do it. He's not going to do it as often as he used to, but with a guy like Jimmy, it helps him get to that point and do it more frequently than he otherwise would, because now they can't just lock into Steph, and he's like the focal point or focus of the defense. Now they have to respect more of what's going on away from Steph, which creates space, creates opportunities, and it's been a really good thing for the Warriors thus far. Anyways, that's kind of my take on everything. That's the game. That's the trajectory of those teams. I think the Warriors are dangerous. Be on the lookout for them. We'll continue to monitor their progress as they round out the rest of the regular season and they move into the playoffs. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys on the next one.